everyone, welcome to Second Sight Tarot, a branch of wellness. I'm here to do the monthly reading for the sign of Libra for the month of June 2021. I've already meditated on the cards. Please remember that this is a general reading, so it may not resonate with everyone. Please take what does and leave the rest. Element spread today, current situation, how we can move through this through intellect and communication, the emotions you can connect with and or release, and how to move to the outcome. I'm going to be using tarot and oracle cards. I've already pulled a couple cards already for the essence of the reading. Very interesting this month. Well, I'll just get into that first. So you have the lake or the depth card. It's also a 4, which means finding stability within all of the chaos and kind of, to me, it's not always the meaning of this card, but I feel like some of you are maybe diving in deep to wherever you are going, whatever you're doing, to find some solitude or to find some ground. But you're also digging, like going in deep, and I think it's just to find stability, you know, even in the midst of like being underwater and holding your breath, you're finding stability now. You're able to have self-control. You're able to have concentration in a sense of like focus, you know, and determination for that focus. So I think this is really interesting. There is a sense of calm and peace within it, but there's also this determination, focus, mixed in with a little bit of fear, but not really. It's kind of there subconsciously, I feel like, but it's not controlling you right now. But it's there. It's interesting. I like this card. But this is also about finding stability within wherever you are right now. Very cool energy, very focused energy. Also, really interesting overall essence of the reading. You have the sun, conscious mind, masculine life force. This is not the only sun you got. You also got a sun in reverse for the same position. So, I don't know. I feel like there's a sense of rebirth here. That's kind of the essence that I'm getting here. You're really focused and really determined to find inner peace and like rebirthing yourself in a very interesting way, just from what I see here. I think some of you might be having some breakthroughs of emotional breakthroughs, communication breakthrough, like just overall breakthroughs of knowledge. This could absolutely be a lot of insight. I just see a lot of like really seeing things clearly and really staying focused and almost like in this calm stillness. Also, I think like energetically, you're connecting with yourself on a different level and maybe being like sharing that kind of energy with others, or maybe I'm offering it if you haven't done it already or you're not planning on it. But I feel like this is a common theme of sharing the knowledge that we have, or even not even realizing, like as you shift, people notice these changes in you and want to know what's going on. And I've noticed that in our work as massage therapists and Reiki practitioners and teaching Reiki, that like this seems to be a common theme lately. Like just everybody's kind of noticing what everybody's doing because there's this enlightenment happening across the board, but just people are just different levels of it. So I just think it's right in your face right now. It's like kind of where you're at. I'll show you the other one. But this is in the reverse. So there's definitely happiness and just feeling like the brighter side of things, and being very generous with your energy right now, and really seeing things in a different way, like having these breakthroughs, these like revelations. So it's also, this is the first one that fell out. I'll show you in upright, but this could mean, I don't want to say bad. I mean, this could mean maybe a little fatigue along the way of this whole thing about the energy. Maybe you're feeling mixed, all of these good things, but also having some fatigue with it, or maybe confusion about, maybe this is not for everybody, but it fell in the reverse, but I read it in the upright at first, and then I pulled one of these cards and the sun came up in the upright. So I'm going to read both because maybe you're just in different positions, you know. I think that there's like this almost a sense of limitations or limiting yourself or your belief system, and having a conflict between that or confusion between that for some. Because on one half of you, or maybe more than half, are having these breakthroughs and like this energetic insight of like, and being very energized by it. And then the other half, I feel like there's this like maybe kind of dipping in depression, or I don't want to say you're depressed, but like dipping in this like negative space and then coming out, negative space and then coming out, or like this confusion about feeling this way. And I'm telling you, Pisces was very up like one way and the other way as well, in a different way, but similar when it comes to like teeter-tottering. But I do think there's like a sense of limitation in the thought process here, or the mindset of what is possible. So just reminding yourself, you have two suns, and it's a matter of like really pushing through perspective, and it's also nurturing yourself in this time of growth, you know? And I think that's why you have both. It's like seeing all components to things, and really like the nurturing aspect and being in this growth in this healing period, and feeling really radiant about it, you know, like it just feels so good to be connected that way. And this creates these breakthrough events, you know, like, oh my God, these aha moments that we start to see. But within that also comes fatigue, because we're putting so much work in, you know. It also comes with like going back to the old way of thinking and the old way of being, and getting down about this, because, you know, it's just on a vibrational quality. If you're talking about the sun vibration, you know, the sun's up here, and then a lot of the negative spaces in the lower vibration, and it kind of sucks you in, sucks you down, sucks you up. So you can get confused about what's going on, or like feeling down or negative about it. So just know that's kind of like across the board. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. And you have the Empress. So amongst all of that up and down teeter-tottering, overall, it's beautiful energy, because there's no negative thing about the sun card. But, you know, I think it's more of like a blockage or a stagnation, or like limitations. I think the Empress, this is about holding space for yourself right now too. Nurturing yourself, mothering yourself, or someone else, depending on your situation. I think this is like really connecting to your nature, to your inner core, and nature too, you know, you could, but I think this is more mothering yourself, babying yourself. Could mean fertility for some, but I think it's more about like connecting with your inner nature, like really bonding with your inner being and your child self. That's kind of what I'm getting here. And also really connecting to your maternal instincts, like mothering yourself in a way that you haven't before, or a situation. You have the Empress twice from the cards that I've pulled so far, and the Emperor, and the Lovers, and the Hangman. You have a lot of major arcana. I think there's a lot going on for you. Really awesome, powerful shifting, and it can absolutely be the one extreme to the sun from the other, to, you know, back and forth. So I can just see from the cards that I've pulled so far, the understanding of that is because it's so powerful. And when your things are really, really powerful, I think that you can kind of step back and like go back to old patterns and see old patterns and get down about it. You know, there's just a lot going on. It's really heavy. It's like beautiful energy, but it's a lot. It's busy, and it's masculine. It's fire energy. There's lots of movement. There's lots of go. So like physical energy. So it's very powerful energy on top of all the other stuff that you have going on here. So excuse me, I'm going to pull some extra cards, and then we will get started in the reading. Thank you. Did I have another one here? I don't know if that was yours, but I will put it aside and see if it kind of goes with the flow of it. I'm going to pull one more. Or two. It's interesting. I do believe that this is hard work is on the bottom and going with the flow of things. and setting intention. I do think this is a lot of work, and really look at yourself in a very deep, focused way. It can be exhausting. So just be careful and take care of yourself and make sure you're not overexerting yourself, because fire is can be exacerbated and create burnout. So just be focused on that. Okay, a lot of cards going on right here. So first card that fell or that came out was the Strength in reverse. And I just feel that maybe there is some obstacles or some blockages going on here with connecting to your inner strength and really grasping your inner strength for some. I think that there may be a lack of confidence or not confidence, but like maybe not understanding your self-control or lacking self-control here. And I think that the current energy of like having this very powerful stuff could cause that, maybe. It just shakes things up and it makes you not feel like solid in your power. So you can see the actual card. I kind of feel that's what I'm feeling from this card. I feel that there is this inner strength that wants to come out, and it's maybe lacking willpower or not believing it. Not believing that you have it. That's kind of more of what it is. I was trying to figure it out. It's not that you don't have your inner strength and you're not connected to it. You just maybe don't believe that you have it. And you just have to find it again for some, you know? So I pulled a couple clarifiers before I started just because I was curious about where this was going to go. And the Lovers came out and the Hanged Man to support that. So the Lovers is like... a very deep union. This could be with a lover. This could be a situation of love. But this also can be with your inner self, your inner love. Sixes are also about overcoming these obstacles and perseverance within this love and finding your inner strength. But this is a divine union, you know? It's shared values. If it's a relationship, it's shared values. It's very, very close connection. I don't know. I just feel like it's a really powerful bond. And it could be with yourself, like I said, or someone. Or another. It doesn't have to be an intimate love. It could be just somebody that you're like connecting with right now, if there's a situation that's in hand. And I think that might have something to do with the Strength card. Like maybe this will support the Strength card, or within this, maybe you have to find your inner strength to pull through something. And I'll clarify a little bit if it's not clear. You got the Hanged Man. And that's all about accepting. You know, you've become enlightened. You've seen things in a different perspective. You know, there's a lot of healing here. There's patience, acceptance. It's a fresh perspective. It's like looking at things with a different lens, different angle. This also could mean like holding a certain pattern that you keep repeating too. And that could be within love or the strength of your love to yourself. I just think, so there's a release card, okay? I do think that there's something that needs to be released here. Or to make room for something new, or just some negative pattern or something that needs to be released in order to feel that you are strong enough, that you do have the inner strength to stand your own, you know? I think this is more of a bond between yourself. And really sit, you know, you've been kind of in this weight holding space and really seeing things differently and acknowledging that you do have these patterns and you do have these, there's something that's lacking in how strong you are, or how strong you think you are. You're not. So I think maybe there's like a realization now, and there is something being released, and you will start to feel like you are, you do have the inner strength to pull through, because I think these are all like really beautiful cards. I think there's something new here, and I think it's because of this new perspective, seeing things through a new lens. I'm going to pull clarifier on the strength card. It's just getting to me. I don't know. Sorry. Just want to clarify a little bit. Spiritual guidance. It says there's a new beginning here. The courage to open up a new door. And the healing, allow it to enter, light to enter your wounds. So I do think there's a deep healing here that has happened through this waiting period. It could have been through COVID, who knows? Or just your own journey of like really going, just seeing things and hanging around and just checking them out and waiting to see the right time to make a move, right? And you're still in this holding period. I still think that there is this, you're still grasping this new concept of looking at how you see things. And I think that it's gonna stay there until you have this union with yourself. You're within holding this space of really finding this deep connection with yourself, or someone else, could be a lover, and finding this inner strength and really understanding that you are so strong and so powerful in the most subtlest way, like really nurturing and healing yourself in the most caring, loving, compassionate way. There's a lot of releasing going on, and you're realizing maybe there's like this deep hunger that you can't grasp, and it could be just inner love, self-love, or love for somebody else, or from somebody else, and spiritual, I think that when I clarified on the strength card, I'm going to do one more or two more. I do think that I think it's about connecting with spirit, and I think that's I don't know why, but I just imagine like a rubber band being stretched so far open that it's not functioning right. I don't know why that popped up in my head, but what I'm kind of getting from this is that the missing link here to finding a true connection with yourself and true strength within is a spiritual awakening or awareness. Or it doesn't mean religion. It's connecting to something other than yourself. It could be nature. It could be like, even just doing meditation and stuff connects you to yourself. The deepest parts of yourself, not just this being, this shell, is what I'm saying. So, I think that there's a missing link there somehow, a little bit, and feeling gratitude towards it, being grateful, and maybe those grateful and spiritual guidance will help you really understand that you are super strong and you can move through this new beginning, on your own. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. I'm stuck on this, but so you got the passage and drifting, and it's interesting. I do feel there's a sense of, or a lack of, spiritual awareness or spiritual connection. I could say the same for me up until recently. It's just losing hope. I mean, after this year, I feel like the people that I've talked to, on one aspect, we're finding enlightenment in some way, but in another, it's like, what do we believe in anymore? Is there hope? Is there something to believe in? What's the point? Kind of. That's what I've been getting from a lot of people. I'm not saying that's you, but I'm saying there's a sense of drifting in the belief of your own strength. And I always say this, but it is a matter of perspective, or it's a matter of like reassessing the way you think, of saying, just changing your stinking thinking around and just faking it until you make it, really. Believing that there is magic, and there is more, and there is more there is spiritualism, there is more than what we think, and I think that will help you find this inner strength more. And the first steps to that is gratitude about what you have right now, having inspiration in something, like whether it's art or music or something, get inspired by something, and spiritual guidance. Find something that you can listen to that is inspirational, a self-help book, inspirational book, meditation, something like that is what it's called, what's saying to me. That was a long intro to the current situation, but that's what I'm feeling here. So hopefully that was understood a little bit. It's a lot. Okay. In the how you can move through this through intellect and communication, the Empress came out. And this is a 3. It's all about creativity, but it's also about learning really interesting ways to connect with your inner divine, your inner mother, like maternal mother, nurturing yourself. You've had it twice. This is the overall essence of the reading, and then you have her again. This could be fertility for a lot of people. Having a baby is just interesting. And but it's also going to be birthing something new, a new concept, a new way. I told you, like, it could be connecting with nature, your natural self, your true self, having this bond. And I think that's what the Lovers means here. It's this, like, this union, this bond, the inner bond, this, like, deep bond, divine union with yourself or with spirit. It's very interesting that you had 2. This is a really powerful combo between. This is also health too, really nurturing yourself, having abundance, selflessness, and then you have the Emperor in the final, which is interesting. You have both counterparts, so a lot of growth, spiritual healing. She's just like creating this beautiful garden underneath her. It's just so beautiful, and it's really finding creative ways. And this is intellect and communication. So this is how you're perceiving things now, and how you are starting to articulate it. Like, how are you taking in information, and how are you communicating this? And I think that maybe because of all this, it's a lot down here. You're creating this beautiful healing space of the way that you connect with people and the way you communicate to yourself and to others. And the way you perceive things is coming, it's very healing time for you. It's a very nurturing, growth period for you. The way that you're delivering and receiving. It's a whole different concept of what you were doing before. I'm going to pull some cards here. Growth. There's a lot of growth. It's perfect. Perfect card to come out. You're having a lot of growth in the way that you perceive things, the way that you process them in the mind, and the way that you deliver them outward, and what you're receiving in to, not just what you're delivering out. It's like, how are you, like, when people are talking to you, you're looking at the situation differently, and trust came out, and I put it back, and I was like, oh, that's funny. I'm going to take that. Wow. Totality, and it's a 5, which is a lot of change. And this is all about having trust in the process. Having trust. And the trust card, and I looked for it again, and I forget where it was, what deck it was. It was this deck. And trust was, it popped out. I put it back in because I hadn't asked a question yet, but I thought it was interesting. And then you just got the sun again at the bottom of the deck. So, and it says the source on here, which I think is really beautiful, because I am really connecting to spiritual awareness here, and kind of being the missing link, or something that you just started to dabble in, and that's the puzzle piece that you needed. So I think that's a really interesting. You have 3 suns, Libra. Who has that? I only did one personal reading that had like 4 suns in it. 3 suns. How powerful is that? But you also have 2 empresses, which is the nurturing aspect, because sun is very masculine energy. It's very go, 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 and spiritually driven. The Empress is very nurturing and like growth and healing. It's like really nurturing yourself in the same time of like being on fire. So it's a really nice combination. I feel like it's totally balanced in the state of like yin and yang and feminine, masculine energy and everything in between. That's really beautiful. In the the emotions you can connect with and or release from this, you have the 7 of Wands in reverse, and I'll show you the card. So I feel in the reverse, I feel that there's a sense of not feeling prepared for all of this to happen. Like, number one, I feel like by the time this all hits, you're going to be exhausted from all this fire. And it's a lot of work. And it is really deep, deep work. And healing is exhausting. It's invigorating, but exhausting too. And it's about staying focused and staying present and staying grounded on the earth right now. It's really important because this fire is like, can totally take a burnout, cause burnout. But I feel like this could be too good for, and I don't want to say good and bad. I don't like that. This could be on the path of where you're going, and it could also kind of give you a little bit of a blockage or some kind of like stagnation. On one aspect, it's like giving up the fight, right? We're giving up on the fight. We're not fighting anymore to get to like have liberation here. But I think that could also be good if you've been fighting to deal with your emotions and fighting with your own self. So in a sense, it can be very powerful in the emotion position to give it up. I'm done. I'm exhausted. I don't have anything left. But if you think too far, if you go too far left, it's like, or right, there's just nothing being done because you're just like giving up completely. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. And you just don't do it. So just be very careful where you are at with this and feeling really overwhelmed too. This is really overwhelming. It's very fire energy. It's like all at once, in your face, fast, here you go, boom. And it's like, whoa. Like I feel overwhelmed. I don't even want to deal with this right now, So just being careful. And so I pulled a card for that because that fell out and I wanted to pull a clarifier on that before, just so I can understand what the reading was about. And the King of Pentacles, the female King of Pentacles in this deck, which I love. And this is the mystical moments. The King of Pentacles, the female, which I love. I feel like there's a stability here. I feel like there's this like groundedness. That's why I feel like it wasn't all this negative of like giving up the fight. I feel like there's a discipline here that needs to be made, or it's there. I'm going to pull a clarifier because I have it in like, I'm trying to articulate it and it's just not coming out. So I'm going to pull. It's suppression, which is a 10, which I think is really interesting. I guess this is the 10 of Wands, I think. Don't quote me. I don't know this deck really well, but I love the imagery of it, and that's kind of what I read off of. I think there's something coming to an end here for sure. I think that either you're giving it up the control and just going with the flow of things, or you're literally like, this is coming to an end of this feeling. You don't, this exhaustion has caused you to really grow your strength and have stability, and like be grounded and rooted and kind of know where you stand and know where you are, and have this confidence and like stability. But I still think there's this essence of suppression here, of the Seven of Wands, and like just feeling not ready to move. Even though you know your power and your strength and you've seen it, you've felt it, you've had a taste of like this stability and this like confidence. Maybe there's a fight going on there. I'm going to pull another. Let me do these. Thank you. One more. Thank you. So you have like everything in your reading. Suns, moons, empresses, emperors. You have the moon. This is the subconscious mind, feminine intuition. I'll show you the card. So the moon is all about unveiling of the, or like really connecting with your intuition and your emotions, which is brilliant for this. I think that's also fears, and that's what's suppressing you because you're afraid to move forward. Maybe you're afraid to take a risk to break through these regular patterns that you've had, you know, and how you've dealt with your emotions, because that's scary, you know. But I think things might be coming to the surface now, and you're seeing them for what they are, not for what you thought they were back then, you know. And that's why I feel like there's this. You're like unprepared because things are coming up so fast, you know. Maybe not fast, but they're coming up at a speed that you're not willing to well, it's not that you're not willing, but you're not prepared. You know, it's literally you're not prepared for it. And it's making you feel like you just want to go back into your shell because it's a lot to deal with. This is a lot of intensity here. But at the same time, within all of this, you are standing in your power, and you're standing in the stability. Like, there is this stability here, you know. There is this like groundedness and this anchor and this like really being grounded. So it's this is why it's throwing me off, because it's like it's one aspect and then another. And I think it's because of the thing, like fears that hold on to, things being revealed that you're not ready to see all full spectrum of. And it's saying also exhale, create space within, like take a breath here. Maybe this is where you need to do some meditation, or you need to sit back and just kind of settle for a minute, because this fire is like out of control. And just really sit back and just look at things as an observer, like through a bird's eye, like just step back and see if you can see things a little bit more clearly. That's kind of what's there. One more. The voice. This should have gone up there too. This is about hearing people or hearing your inner voice without waiting to speak. Really listening to the information coming in from this moon. Really hearing it clearly, you know, and listening, really observing what this is telling you here without waiting to speak. Or like if this is somebody talking to you, maybe a therapist or a friend or whatever, just really listening, or just listening to your inner self, and don't have this mind, you know, chatter of like saying, no, it's not that, like really just stopping that and listening to your intuition and not allowing anything to stand in your way from your connection with your intuition, that divine union with your intuition. This is what this is about. That's very clear to me now. Took a minute, but I'll take a sip of water. And in the final, like how you move through this, you have the Emperor. And this is you standing in your stability here. This is you of all of this gained experience, all of this wisdom, all of this confidence. You've created structure in this new way of thinking here. You're in control here. You're in full control. You're standing in your power. And you really have the experience now in this final. And it's more about having confidence in your experience, or knowing this experience, having confidence in it that you know enough, that you're able to move through. That's what this is. Really being focused. You know, that's what the essence was, is like this depth. It's about really being mindful and focused and really in it. That's your outcome. But in this very confident, stand tall kind of way. There, this was like assessing the situation, you know, being discerning and really going in with a fresh start and not knowing what to expect. Here, you know, this is like you standing in your confidence. You're in the lead now. Really great. With all of that nurturing and growth that you've gone through. Can you please clarify, Emperor, please, in the final outcome? Well, I'm not taking them all. But the first thing that I did see is clinging to your past. I'm not keeping it, but that maybe for someone. Not letting go of old patterns and clinging to the past. Because this is a whole new ball game here. It's a whole new chessboard. Jeez. Okay, they're all popping out here. The Lovers again. This might be a love. Existence came out before too, that's why I'm saying it. This is also like a new journey here, or self-belief. This is all about self-belief. So this could be a love for sure for some of you. Others, it's a divine union with yourself and seeing yourself for who you are and loving yourself for who you are, being really super connected. I think that's majority for you of you. It's that definitely could be a love. I'm not discarding that, but this is definitely standing in your power, being focused, being connected, spiritually connected to yourself. Libra, this is beautiful. I'm going to give you some self-care cards and send you on your way. A lot of fires. Don't burn out. Stay grounded. So, connecting with crystals. I think this is all about connecting to the earth and staying grounded. That's the King of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. But I do think like connecting to the earth and to crystals, whatever you have to do to like ground yourself, is big. Create art. This could mean anything. It doesn't have to be drawing. It could be poetry and reading, writing a book, or whatever it is to express yourself here. Because this is a very, very illuminated energy, very heavy, passionate. It's very, I just feel like there's a lot of pressure, and then it's like hardcore, deep energy here with all the major arcanas in the sun. You got a lot going on. Pleasure, and that could mean intimacy, or it could mean just overall pleasure for yourself. Releasing some of that excess fire is what it means. Sound healing is a big one, and health checkup, and that does not always come out. But when it does, get your hands, see pottery. And sex again, intimacy, and hydrate. But the biggest one, health check, sound healing. Sound healing is really good for breath work, meditation, that kind of stuff. But maybe a health check also to see where you're at, just because a lot of us haven't gone to the doctors in a little bit because of COVID. So hopefully that that's for some of you. You'll listen to that. I always like to make sure that I stress that. Anyway, Libra, I hope you have a great June. This is really, really powerful stuff. Hardcore stuff. It's amazing. I'm really interested to see where this goes and how this pans out in June. Please be safe. Stay healthy. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe. I could really use the support, and I really appreciate it. I'd like to stay here and grow and learn the cards a lot more. So thank you. I appreciate that. Enjoy your month, and I will see you soon. Take care of yourself.